In this tutorial, we're going to be talking about setting your domain name or setting the domain for your shirt shop. There are three different options. One, you can use a domain that you already own, so exampledomain.com. If you already own that, you can use it. The second option would be to use a subdomain. So let's say you own example.com, but you've already got an existing website there. You can use a subdomain, so it would be like store.exampledomain.com. And then the third option is just to buy a new domain altogether. So we're going to go over those three options right now. This is actually a very simple process, and the first thing that you're going to need to do is log into your backend. And you're going to want to click on Settings, and then you're going to want to click on Domain Settings. And this IP address right here is what you're going to need to copy, because that's what you're going to need to point either your domain or your subdomain at. It's essentially just pointing it at your store. What you're then going to need to do is log into your domain registrar. And for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to be using GoDaddy, and you're going to need to navigate to your DNS records. And you're just going to need to do a simple edit on your DNS records. So as we can see, for our domain name realsimplecrazy.com, we've got it pointed to this IP address. That's the wrong IP address. If we wanted this main domain name to go to our store, we're simply going to need to edit this to point to the IP address found in our account settings. And then you would just simply click Save Zone File. Now there's one additional option that you can use that I wanted to go over real quick. Let's say that you already have a website at your current domain name and you want your store or your shop to be a subdomain. For example, shop.exampledomain.com. The way we would set that up is very easy as well. What we want to do is we want to undo that change. We're going to quickly add the subdomain. So if we want it to be shop.exampledomain.com, we would just put in shop, and then we're going to point that to the IP address. And there's one additional change that we need to make if we're going to use a subdomain, because we want the www version, if someone types that into their browser, to also pull up our shop. So we're going to go www.shop points to shop. And then again, just simply click Save Zone Files. But the way that we're going to set it up is we're going to have it pointing to the main domain name, Real Simple Crazy. So we're just going to point that at the IP address, click Save Zone Files, and then click OK. Now there is one additional change that we're going to need to make in our backend, and down here we're going to need to add that domain name. So our domain is going to be Real Simple Crazy. If you've created a subdomain instead, like shop, you're going to want to enter that in. But we're going to stay with Real Simple Crazy, and we're going to click Add. That's going to add it, and you're going to want to wait about 10 to 15 minutes after you change the configuration in your domain register, just because it takes a second to update. But we have done that, and it says that it has been verified. Then we're just going to click on Set as Primary. That's going to set that to the primary domain name, and we're going to want to check this box that says Redirect to Primary Domain, and then we're going to want to click Save. Now if we copy this web address and we go back to our site, as we can see now, it's realsimplecrazystore.compelstorecreator.com. That's the free domain. We're going to go ahead and paste realsimplecrazy.com, hit refresh, and as you can see, Real Simple Crazy is now the domain name for our apparel store. I want to thank you for listening to this tutorial, and look forward to seeing you at the next one.